Good evening, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S exam prep. So Maharashtra CET is the last examination of the season, and like the ones who do not want to waste another year for MBA preparation can target this examination. The registrations are still open. Okay, and please register for the examination if you wish to. And so today we are going to do some questions on line chart. Okay, so data interpretation is a part of this examination. If we talk about the section data interpretation, right, there are about 15 to 20 questions from it. Okay, so that is like line chart is one of the kinds of set that you get in data interpretation and Maharashtra CT. So we'll be solving a few sets in today's class. So good evening all, welcome to the class. We are preparing for CAT and other MBA entrance examinations for the coming season 2022. You can enroll with our comprehensive program, which covers CAT and other MBA entrance tests. Okay, and there are more than 90 topics covered in this, 135 plus live classes, 300 plus recorded classes, and practice questions, books, etc. Okay, so let's begin. This is the first question for the day. It says that the line graph shows the cost of five different items manufactured by two different companies, X and Y, right? So these are the graphs given by X and Y, and the five companies are A, B, C, D, and E, right? So the question is the total cost of item B and C together manufactured by company X is what percentage of the total cost of B and C together by company Y? We have to find B and C together by company X upon B and C together by company Y. After registration, receive my payment message. Yes, that is what you get, right? What will be the total cost of B and C together by X as compared to? So it is saying that for X, B plus C upon Y, B plus C, we have to multiply by 100. Okay. If you look at X, this is B is 4000. Now see this, these values are all multiples of 100. Okay, so certain things that you must keep in mind. These are all multiples of 100, right? So you can take 40. Okay, and this is what? This is 50 minus 2, 48. And Y of B plus C, Y is 56. And this is 1 less than 45, 44. So you can see that directly it is 88%. Isn't it very simple to get 88%? I hope you must have got 88%. See 56 and 44, 5600, 4400. Right. So let's, since these are multiples of 100, let's just take it 56 and 44. And this value is 40, this value is 48. So 88% is the answer. Okay. Next question. If the average cost of items C, D, and F manufactured by company Y is 5400, find the cost of item F manufactured by company Y. So we are given till E, right? So we have to find F manufactured by company Y. So these are the kind of questions you will get, right? Percentage based, ratio based, average based. You just have to read the graph and do the calculations. It does not ask you logical DI. Like you have in CAT, you have logical DI. Here, it's a rare chance that you would get a logical one. So C plus D plus F, the average is given as 5400. Right now, these values, if you see, are all multiples of 100. So let us take it 654. Okay, C is how much? This is for Y. Okay, so we'll see this. This is 44. We calculated in previous question also. Plus D is 60. 54 into 3, 162. Right, so F will be 162 minus 104, that is 58. So I can say 5800. A simple question, you just have to find the average. Two values are given, one is missing, so you can subtract from the total. What is the difference between the cost of item A and B together manufactured by company X and the cost of item C and E together manufactured by company Y? So just calculate the difference. So A and B by company X, right? So this is X, A is 54 and this is 40, right? So that is 94. One of the values is 94, and C and E by Y. So C is 44 and E is 64. Right? That is 108. And the difference is 1400. Okay, simple calculation, 1400. What is the average cost of items manufactured by shop B, D, and E together in company X? Average of B, D, E by company X. So B, if you look at, is 40. Okay, D is 50 and E is 60. Right. So if we add this, we get 150. Divided by 3, we get 50. So 5000 is the average. Okay, simple calculations. If the ratio of cost of item C to item G manufactured by company Y is 11:13, find the difference between the cost of item G and item A manufactured by company Y. So we are given cost of C to G. We know the cost of C, so we can find the cost of G. Then you have to subtract, you have to find the difference between A and G of company Y. What is the difference? Do you get 1000? So C is how much? C is 4400, right? And it is saying C to G is 11:13. 44, 4 times X will be 52, right? Or rather G. Okay, so G is 5200. Now A is how much? A is 40. This is 41. This is 42. This is 42. It's 52. A is 42. The difference is 1000. So difference is 1000. Simple one. G we will get 52 and the difference is 1000. So just simple observation based question. The total cost price of item A manufactured by company X. If the number of item A manufactured by company X is 45, find the total cost price of item A manufactured by company X. So you just have to multiply in this. So some sets could be this easy, direct, straightforward questions, just basic calculations, addition, taking average, finding percentage, etc. So number of items manufactured is 45 and the cost per item is how much? The cost per item is 5400. This is 55, this is 54, right? So cost per item is 5400 into 45. Okay. So one thing that can be done is like if you do not know the table of 45, can we make it 90 into 2700? 27 into 9 is 243. So the answer will be 24,300. Sorry, 2,43,000. Okay, so that is the total cost. Okay. All right, so this is the next set. It says that the line graph below shows the number of managers, TLs, and freshers working in 5 different companies A, B, C, D, E. So the blue line shows the managers, the red line shows the team leads, and the green line shows the freshers. Okay, and the total number of employees in company B and D are 960 and 1050 respectively. What is the difference between the approximate percentage of their TLs? It's asking that B and D 960 and so I think it has taken the percentage point difference, right? It should be what is the point difference. So B, if we talk about, there are 240 TLs, right? 240 out of 960, that is 1/4, that is 25%. Okay, and in this case it is 350 out of 1050, that is 33.33%. Okay, so the difference would be 8.33%. Right. ideally in such questions, none of these should not be an option, right? Because like if you actually talk about, the answer is not given in any of the options. Okay, if it was some other option, let us say close to 10 or some other number, we would choose 8% as the answer because it is closer to 8% rather than 9%. Okay, so we'll choose 8.33. But ideally in the examination, you do not get none of these as the option. Or even if they give, that should be, uh, it's saying approximate percentage, so still you can say 8%. What is the difference between the average number of managers in all the given companies together and the average number of freshers in all the given companies? So you have to find the difference between the average number of managers and freshers in these companies. Find the difference between the average number of managers and freshers in these two companies. The one way is obviously you find the average of this and the average of this, right, and subtract. Another way is you subtract this, right? So we get the number as 205. If we subtract this, we get 340. Okay, if we subtract this, we will get 305. If we subtract this, we get 250. And if we subtract this, we get 240. Okay, so we have to find the average. Okay, so let us do one thing. Now 5 plus 5 gives us 0, right? So that is some multiple of 10. Divided by 2 will be, divided by 5 will be an even number, so odd number I can reject. Then one thing, I mean that's how I do is I use deviation method. Okay, so I'll assume that average is 270. Okay, so if we take average as 270, this is minus 65, this is 70, this is 35, minus 20, minus 30. Okay, this gives us net 5, 40, and 40 minus 50 minus 10, 270 minus 10 by, there are 5 values, so the average will come as 268. Okay, so instead of finding the average of these 5 and then the average of these 5 and subtracting, you can subtract also and then find the average. Okay, that is also a correct way to find average. Okay, and this is just a method for you to just get it, like if you want to find average or deviation, you can do this also, right? Otherwise you can add these also and then divide by 5, that is also perfectly fine, but I find this thing easy to do and hence do this, because if there are more numbers, then let us say instead of 5 there are 7 or 8 numbers, this is much easier to get the answer. Okay, the average of given number of employees in company C is what percentage of the average of given number of employees in company A? Again, the language looks ambiguous here. It must be counting only these three categories of employees. It must be counting only these three categories of employees. So average employees, find the percentage. So if we take the average, this is 750 total. So average is 250 and C is this is 900. So average is 300, right? So it is 300 by 250, that is 6 by 5 or 120%. A simple calculation. Find the ratio between the total number of TLs in company E to that of managers in company A and D together. Again, simple average based, ratio based question. You just have to find the ratio. So you should be quick in finding ratios. You should be good in finding percentages, etc. That is required for DI in this. So ratio between the total number of TLs in E, right? TLs in E is 250. Okay. Now one thing that you must keep in mind that if there was none of these options, right? If none of these was not of the option or यहाँ पे कोई value दी होती, I would have marked this as the answer, right? I can eliminate three options. How? See, 250, like whenever you take ratio, okay. So this number should be a multiple of this number. Let us say if I say 40 ratio 35, right? It is 8 ratio 7. So it is a multiple of 8, isn't it? So 250 should be a multiple of that number. So you can directly eliminate three options. Okay, if there is none of these options, just mark 10 ratio 11 as the answer. ठीक है. और कभी कभी लोग कहते हैं ना कि मतलब वो तुक्के कैसे मारने चाहिए. So these are the things that you must keep in mind, that without even calculating, just mark this as the answer and then move ahead, right? If you are short of time. So A and D together, A and D together is 275, right? So 250 ratio 275, you get the same thing. If no none of these option is there, just by looking at this value, you could answer the question. No need to calculate also in that case. Okay. The next question says, what is the difference between the total number of managers in all the given companies together and the total number of TLs in all the given companies together? So the difference between managers and TLs. So how much do you get? So again in this kind of question, right? So instead of finding the totals, okay, like what you have to do, you have to add all this and subtract this. Okay, so instead of that, you can subtract this. This we get 170. This you get 130. This is 85. This is 200, and this is 115. Okay, so now to add 200. Sorry, 300. 3 plus 2, 500, and this is 200 more. So 700 is your answer. Okay, so instead of totaling this and subtracting, okay, it will take more time. Subtract this and then total this. Okay, so you get the answer as 700, which you have got otherwise also. Okay, all right. So let us see the next set. Okay, so in this set, we are given the total number of students in different years and the difference between the number of boys and girls. Now, this is slightly, like the previous two ones were very easy. This is slightly moderate. Okay, so one or two, like you get generally get 3 to 4 sets. One set could be a moderate one also. Now, in this question, we are given the total students. We are given boys minus girls, right? We are not given boys. We are not given girls. This is something, I mean, I would not say very difficult, but yes, not that easy, that straightforward questions. You will have to apply some brain. So the question is, what is the average number of boys during the 6 years? Find the average number of boys. For the ones who are completely struggling, let me help you out in this thing. That this line shows total students, right? This boys plus girls. Okay, and this line shows boys minus girls. So if we add both, we will get 2 times the number of boys, right? So using this, you can find the number of boys, you can find the number of girls. What mistake some people do is they find all the values. I mean, it is good to find all the values, but you should see the questions also, right? Do all questions require girls from all these schools, all these years or not? So boys, you will have to find out. So find the total number of boys and the average. Have you calculated? So how do we calculate this? See, 1600 is the number plus 300. Total kitna? 1900 divided by 2, we will get 950. Okay. This we will get 2160 divided by 2, 1080. Okay, this is 1600. So number of boys will be 800. This is 1720. Number of boys is 860. Okay. Then 1850 plus 190, 2040. So 1020. This is 1500. So 750 boys. Okay. Now this thing obviously you will have to calculate. But can I tell the average without even calculating it? Right? So this art also you need to learn. Can you answer the question? So that is what makes the difference. ठीक है? Average 6 numbers को add करना divide करना हर कोई कर सकता है. ठीक है? सब लोग practice करते हैं. ठीक है? उसको पता है कि add करना divide करना. Everyone knows how to what to do. ठीक है? You have to find the average. So that is not a big deal. But the deal is like how quickly can you do this? ठीक है? अगर ये if there was a lot of time, everyone could solve this. But can you do it faster? Yes, you can. See, one of the logic that you see is see the options. Right? 735. Can 735 be the average? See, none of the values is less than 735. So 735 is not the average. Okay. 805. Okay, let us see this. 800 is one of the values. This value is less, I can agree. This is more, so this will almost make it close to 800, these three values. But other three values are quite big, so 805 cannot be the average. Okay, now we are left with 910 and 870. Let us think that can it be close to 900? If you say 900, 900, if we see this is 40 more, 180 more. Okay, this is less, this is slightly less, more, slightly less. So it looks closer to 900 than 870. So I mean, you can check with one of the numbers, right? Preferably, if you check with 870, this is approximately equal. This is less. This is also less. Okay, this is more. This is very high. This is also very high. Okay, so that is more than 870. You will get the answer as 910. Right? If you get this, if you practice these kind of activities, right, you will get the confidence that you will not even calculate. You will say that it is 910 by just looking at the values. See, like इसको अगर हम ग्राफ पे दिखाएं, this is numbers are difficult to visualize. If that was shown in graph, you could have told the average. For example, if I ask you what is the average of these students, right? So you can just visually see the graph and say that the average line will be somewhere here. Okay, so you will say ki around 1600, you will say 1630 could be the average. Okay, by just looking at the graph, I can say that it is 1630. अब वो थोड़ा बहुत कम ज़्यादा हो सकता है. It can be 1600 also, but like when it is line, you can visualize things. But yes, that comes with practice. In which year was the number of girls as the percentage of total students the highest? In which year was the number of girls as the percentage of total students the highest? So we are given total students, we are given boys minus girls. We are not given the number of girls. So this is boys plus girls, boys minus girls. So what you can do is you can subtract, you will get twice the number of girls to get the number of girls. If you add, you get twice the number of boys. If you subtract, you get twice the number of girls. So find in which year was the number of girls as a percentage of total students the highest. So did you calculate? The percentage of girls with respect to total number of people. So did you calculate the percentage of girls? Okay, Ashish is saying 2021 it is highest. Now listen one more thing. Okay. It is asking in which year was the number of girls as a percentage of total students highest. ठीक है? ये पूछ रहा है किस साल में percentage सबसे ज्यादा था, right? It is not asking what is the highest percentage. मतलब what is that percentage, right? It is not asking us to calculate the percentage. It is asking which year was the percentage highest. Okay. Now we see that number of boys is more than the number of girls. Again, this graph shows boys minus girls. Okay. Now, if you see this, if the difference between, see, if boys is equal to girls, suppose boys equal to girls, right? So in that case, B minus G would be 0. ठीक है? If B minus G is 0, this graph will not exist. ठीक है? This graph will be 0 if boy is equal to girls. If boy is equal to girls, that means girls will be 50%. Okay, so just think along these lines that if boys is equal to girls, girls will be 50%. In all these cases, boys are more than girls. Whenever the difference is very low, right, that means the percentage of girls is very high. यहाँ पे देखो, like the difference is 300, so there are 300 more boys. Okay, so if the difference is 50, that means that the number of girls is very high. I mean, as compared to the total students. If it is 0, that would make girls 50%. So if this graph, the value is very less, that means total girls are very close to 50%. As we move away from this graph, the percentage of girls will decrease. In this case, percentage of girls will increase, right? Now, in order to get surety, you can check between two options. Okay, that is perfectly fine. Otherwise, I would directly say 2021 you can mark as the answer, because here there is just difference of 30. Here there is a difference of 50. The total number of students is not much different. ठीक है, it is like 1470 1550. if it was like 2000, then you would have checked अच्छा 50 का difference है कितना होना चाहिए, right? Or 1800, then you could have checked. ज्यादा difference नहीं है, you could directly mark 2021 as the answer. Okay, yeah, it will depend on total number of course, but see the difference is not very much, right? In this proportion it is 3:5, it is not 3:5. So in order to be sure we can find, so in this case we will get, I told you boys, if you subtract this we will get twice the number of girls. So 1440 divided by 2 you get 720. Okay, and in this case you will get 1500 divided by 2, that is 750. Okay, in this case 750 girls, in this case 720 girls. So 750 by 1550 and 720 by 1470. Okay, do we actually calculate the percentage? I'll tell you how, why not to calculate the exact percentage. We can still find out. इसका half कितना होगा? 775 will be 50%. ठीक है, 50% minus 25 by 1550, right? Percentage, and this is 735. 735 will be 50%. Okay, 50% minus 15 by 1470. Right? Now this is, see, 15 upon 1470 will be what? 1%. ठीक है, 1% के करीब होगा तो ये हो जाएगा roughly 49%. Approximately 49%, very close to 49%. You will get 48.9 or 48.9 something. Do not worry, right? Now 25 upon 1550. Right? 25, like 16 into 1.5 is 24, right? So more than 1.5 times. Okay, so it will be close to 48.5 or 48.4 rather. right? You will get 48.4, you will get close to 49%. And I'm not calculating it, but definitely it will be more. Okay, so using those things, you can say that this is more. ठीक है, one thing is you can directly say 30 है और यहाँ पे 1470 number, it is 1550, not much difference, so it is very close to 50%. You can directly say 2021. If you want to check between these two, check only two options, and in that also do not go into the complete calculation. Okay, so that's how you do these questions better than others, while others might skip this question. Okay. Now, which year saw the highest percentage increase in the number of boys from the previous year? So, highest percentage increase in the number of boys from the previous year. इसके लिए तो we had already calculated the number of boys, ना? We had calculated the number of boys, so you can use that numbers. In the first question, we had calculated the number of boys. Uh, so this was 950. Okay, double. This is 1080, 800, 860, 1020, and this is 750. Okay. So it is saying the highest percentage increase in the number of boys from previous year, right? So you have to compare with respect to number of boys from the previous year. Okay, not total growth, from the number of boys from the previous year. Now, if we see 2021, there is a decrease. 19, 20 and 17. ठीक है, 17 में इतना बढ़ गया, 19 में less than 10%, थोड़ा सा ही increase हुआ है. This is this, right? This is 130 का increase by 950, and this is 160 का increase by 860. Right? So 160 is greater than this, and 860 is less than this. If numerator is high, denominator is low, this fraction is definitely greater. Right? So the answer is 2020 compared to previous year. Okay, so the answer is 2020. No need to calculate, right? It is saying that which year saw the highest increase. You do not have to find how much increase. Okay, do not go into these calculations. Just observe and answer. Okay, so let's see the next one. What was the maximum percentage change in the number of girls from the previous year during the given period? Now this question will require you to find the number of girls also. What is that highest percentage change? Now you can expect one such difficult set, others would be easy. Anyone calculated? Let's see the numbers. Okay, so I told you that this is b plus g and this is b minus g. So you subtract this, you get 2 times of g. Okay, so the difference is 1300. I'm writing the numbers 650. This is 860. And this is 750, 600. This will be 830. And this is 720. Right, I hope you must have calculated this. Now it is saying maximum percentage change. In this case, it is going to increase. ठीक है, almost 25%. ठीक है, 30% से थोड़ा कम होगा. No, more than 30%. This is 210, right? So greater than 30%. This is decreasing, but not that great. This is decreasing by 25%. This is a big increase. That this could be the biggest increase. So let us check what is this increase. This is 230 by 600. Right, and into 100. 230 by 6 you will get as 38 is 228, so 38.33. That would be your answer. Okay, so understanding of numbers, right? ये कितना है? 210 का increase हो रहा है out of 650, which is less than one third. Because 210 by 630 is one third, right? Less than one third, less than 33.33%. This is more than one third. So this clearly looks as the highest change. So no need to calculate other values, just calculate this value. Right, that comes out to be 38.33%. Okay. All right, so that was this question for online chart. Okay, and we did two sets easy, one was difficult. You get a combination of these things. Generally, like some questions would be easy, there could be one set which could be slightly moderate to difficult. That will test your ability to excel in the examination. That is what makes the difference, right? वो easy वाले तो हर कोई कर लेता है. That moderate difficult ones, how well do you react with numbers? How do you avoid calculations? That is what is needed, right? For example, if it is asking in which year it is highest, right? You do not need to calculate the highest value. You just have to observe and tell that it is the highest using deviation to find the average. These are some different techniques that help you do them faster. Okay, so thanks for watching the video. Have a great night. Goodbye.